Sorry to mock you guys, but unfortunately, in the society we live in today, you have to either be shirtless or a steroided out Hulk with your shirt on in order for anybody to listen to you on social media. But this video is going to be about the optimal diet. And we're not going to take a science based Jeff Nifford approach because, in all honesty, science is pretty bunk when it comes to nutrition. The basic reasons for this are nutrition's only been studied for about 120 years with modern science, as we call it. So that's barely enough time to cover maybe 1, 2, 3 generations of people maximum. So the data available is just so small that it can really be made to show anything you want. So rather than rely on epidemiology, which is flawed because of this, it's a pseudoscience similar to economics, wherein you're claiming to understand which variables control the system, not understanding there's variables that are unknown and they have interactions with each other. We're going to rely on a framework that we can trust, something that we trust. And whether or not you believe in evolution, Darwinian evolution, any form of evolution, young earth, old earth, creationism or not, we can agree that an intelligent being designed us with a history and a past of evolution. Whether or not that occurred is beside the point. But here we are, and we seem to have developed from some form of evolution based on our past. So that's the framework that's going to guide this. And the diet I'm talking about is the animal-based diet. I'm here doing this video in order to condense a lot of the knowledge I've found in the past 3 years for you, and then you can do a deep dive for yourself. Some of the best resources are Liver King. If you hate him too much because you can't get past the social media frenzy about him doing steroids and the fact that people make mistakes, then go to Paul Saladino, previously known as the Carnivore MD. The wealth of knowledge these guys have is far beyond what I have. I'm learning from them, but I'm going to pass that on to you. Here we go. 5 categories. Meat, organs, dairy, fruit, and honey/maple syrup. Honey/maple syrup. What is fine about those carbohydrates? Well, it's the fact that they're naturally occurring carbohydrates. Honey and maple syrup are vastly different than refined corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, sucralose, stevia, all those artificial 0-calorie sweeteners. You can remember this, there is no free lunch in anything. You're not getting a 0-calorie sweetener without some side effects. I'll go ahead and give you a preview of what the side effects are of 0-calorie sweeteners. Disrupted gut microbiome and insulin spikes. It can mess with your long-term insulin sensitivity and your ability to maintain and control your weight. Next category, the most important one, is going to be meat. Why meat? Because meat is the protein source that we've used forever. You know what we didn't eat a long time ago? Soylent, bug bars, tofu. We did eat meat. Meat is great. You don't need to eat vegetables. You'll notice vegetables aren't on the list. Why is this? There's something called the food chain. This is science we do know, right? You learned this in kindergarten. Yet somebody told you to forget this, or they forgot it themselves. The food chain. From plankton to a whale shark, or whatever the food chain is for the specific environment. In our food chain, we're at the top. Everything beneath us eats something lower. So a cow, perfect example. The cow eats vegetables. These plants have eaten nutrients from the soil, which comes from bacteria, etc., other microbes. But essentially, right, you don't see the cow eating bacteria, at least not purposely. Obviously, bacteria is on everything, it coats our skin. It's eating the plants, because that's what it's meant to eat. We're not meant to eat the plants. Let's not skip rungs in this ladder here. We're going to eat the cow. The cow eats the vegetables. I don't eat vegetables. I don't eat what my food eats, as Ron Swanson would say. The cow basically has collected all these nutrients and stored it in itself. That's your multivitamin. Cow's meat. Eat the meat. You'll have all the nutrients you need. You won't need supplements if you're eating high quality foods. Problem is high quality foods. Very hard to find. That's a whole other topic. Do a deep dive. But surface level, because of our focus on making money and securing profits in the now, because of a flawed monetary system that encourages spending now because of its debasement due to inflation, taxation, and a debt system, companies have insane amounts of corporate greed, which leads to them cutting costs and cutting corners at the expense of your health. And so here we are with Tyson Foods, Purdue Chicken, McDonald's burgers being sometimes better than what you can find in the supermarket, even though they're still junk. Assuming you have good quality food, you're not going to need to supplement. A lot of you don't have good quality food, so you should supplement until you can move away from them. They're transitionary products. Supplements are better than junk food, in the same way that vegetables are better than junk food. Only time I'd recommend a vegetable is if they're going to eat broccoli over Cheetos. I prefer that. Organs. Why organs? Because organs have even more nutrients than just the muscle meat itself. So I said organs, I said meat. Organs specifically is mentioned because people forget about the organs when I say meat. I mean all of the animal, nose to tail. You need the collagen, you need all the other nutrients that come from the different organs, the heart, the spleen, the liver, the kidneys, the testicles. You can either eat those whole or you can get them desiccated, meaning they've been pulverized, powderized, and sold to you in a supplement form. I recommend you just start eating the organs, or my go-to is what's called the ancestral blend or primal blend ground beef, which is just ground beef with organs mixed in, to where it doesn't heavily affect the flavor. It still tastes great, even tastes better. You're getting your multivitamin essentially with your meal. And then dairy. Dairy comes from the animals. When you're a little kid, what did you drink? Hopefully it wasn't formula, soy formula. Your mom's milk, dairy. Animals have plenty of milk to spare. That's why we use it to make cheese, yogurt, ice cream. So as long as you're eating quality dairy, again, which is hard to find, eat as much as you want. Perfect. It's so nourishing. And then the last category we haven't mentioned is fruit. So I've discussed plants. And in general, people don't make the right distinctions between vegetables and fruits. For example, tomato, in my mind, should be categorized as a fruit. Do I really care what the Botanical Society says? No, I care about its usefulness to me. That's the point of information, science, engineering, learning. Fruit is what the plant wants you to eat. Vegetables are what the plant does not want you to eat. And it's really not that binary. It's on a scale, a plant toxicity scale. Look that up. But for example, broccoli or spinach, kale is going to wreak havoc on your gut. In fact, if you're eating spinach, you're probably getting a net negative effect. Versus fruit, mangoes want to be eaten. Why do fruits want to be eaten? Because the plant needs to spread its seed. And that works via the animal eating the fruit with the seeds intact, and then defecating them some other place, spreading its seed. Notice, in that scenario, the seeds are intact. What they haven't been is ground up, processed with petroleum, bleached, deodorized, recolored, like seed oils have. You've probably heard of seed oils. What are seed oils? That's what they are. Butter is a great alternative. Ghee is clarified butter, great alternative. Tallow, great alternative. All of these are animal fats. They're meant to be eaten. They're not machine oil lubricants that were repurposed because they had excess supply and needed to sell it off. Aside from strictly fruits and strictly vegetables, easily classifiable plant products, along that plant toxicity scale, there's stuff like tubers, potatoes, purple potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, things of that nature. You wouldn't really want your roots to be eaten if you're a carrot plant. But it's not so black and white. There's a scale of toxicity. There can be good benefits derived from certain plant foods on the spectrum. And that's actually going to come down to your genetics. So what I recommend to start out with is cutting out all vegetables classically, things like potatoes and red peppers, bell peppers, carrots, and then slowly add them back in. After you've done an elimination diet, add them back in and see, how do I feel when I eat these certain things? Me, if I eat iceberg lettuce, my stomach hurts like crazy. If I eat carrots, I feel pretty good. If I eat potatoes, I feel great. I feel super satiated. I feel super energetic. Some people, though, they feel lethargic or they get stomach problems, so they eat potatoes. That's where it's going to come down to you experimenting to see if that's what's right for you. And then, depending on how high performance of a person you are in terms of athletic events, you may need the supplementation of the food world, which is, in my opinion, carbohydrates from grains. Grains can be pretty tough on your stomach because grains are seeds. Some are tougher than others. You'll have to experiment. That's why I recommend you stick with lightly processed grains that are less toxic. So things like white rice can be good. Sourdough bread without all the gluten can be good. And when would you use those? If you're doing 2-a-days, training in the morning, training in the evening, if you need strictly performance, maybe you're doing some sort of mega endurance event, or you just want to enjoy something like a bowl of pasta or some rice with your meal. But do realize, though, those are not technically optimal on the health scale, but in your life, health isn't the only thing that matters. It does matter because in order to have a healthy mind, you must have a healthy body. In order to experience life to the fullest, you need a healthy mind. In order to have a healthy spirit, you need a healthy mind as well. And that comes from the healthy body. So health is very important, but there's more to life than just obsessing about everything you're eating all the time and never enjoying a birthday cake with your niece. And then, not really a food, but something you ingest that's extremely important, water. The simple version of my spiel on water is avoid tap water, avoid bottled water. What does that leave? Filtered water. I'm going to even go one step further and say avoid most filtered water, not filtered enough. Get reverse osmosis water or distilled water in glass containers or metal containers that don't have coatings that are harmful to you. If you'd like, we can make another video about water, the different types of filtration, the benefits of drinking reverse osmosis water, hydrogen water versus tap water, plastic bottle water, sink water, restaurant tap water. That's the simple answer. Let us know what else you want to see. Thank you.